Hi, I'm Jeremy, and in the next 7 minutes, I will explain you what the United Manufacturing Hub is and what you can do with it. In short, the United Manufacturing Hub is an infrastructure as a code tool which combines state-of-the-art IT and OT tools and techniques and brings them into the hands of the engineer. The entire IT/OT stack, for example, Node-RED, Timescale, Grafana, MQTT, but also database models, firewalls, servers, everything can now be set up using a central tool, the Management Console. If you want to get specific, it is basically an open source Helm chart for Kubernetes combined with the CLI tool, but we will get to that later. Now, what can you do with the United Manufacturing Hub? With a full IT/OT stack, you can do everything to generate business value from your data on the shop floor. This includes 4 steps. The first one is first to extract the data. The second one is then to contextualize and standardize them. Then you need, as a third step, you need to store them in a database and to also exchange it with other microservices or other machines. And as a fourth step, you need to visualize them. We will go through each of these steps so that you can get a feeling how it feels like to work with the United Manufacturing Hub. In the United Manufacturing Hub, there are various methods to extract data from the shop floor. The first way that we will show here is using the microservices. The microservices are, for example, barcode reader, camera connect, or sensor connect. In the second example, we'll take a look at Node-RED to connect to PLCs. But first, let's start with the microservice Sensor Connect as an example. For this, we open up the central configuration file, as we are here using the open source version of the United Manufacturing Hub. We go to Releases, select the stack, search for Sensor Connect, and we can see here that it's enabled. If we want to change the IP address, we could do it like this and just press save to store it. That's it. Now Sensor Connect is enabled and will automatically send the data to Kafka. As promised, in the second example, we will be using Node-RED to connect to PLCs. For this, we will take the S7 node from the left side. We click on it and we select the PLC. Additionally, we now select the variable and press Done. That's it. We're now connected to the PLC. As a next step, we will contextualize and standardize data using again Node-RED. First, we always take data from MQTT or Kafka. In this example here, we're just configuring the broker. Then we add drag and drop data processing steps, processing the data, converting it, applying logic. And then in the end, we again send the data back to MQTT Kafka. Now we just need to connect the nodes and press Save. The third step is to exchange and store data. In the United Manufacturing Hub, we are using an event-driven architecture based on Apache Kafka and MQTT. This means that data is not sent directly between microservices or that the PLC is not sending the data directly to the database. Instead, we're using a message broker in between it. More information on event-driven architecture and why the approach of using a message broker, also known as unified namespace, is better than the direct connection can be found in a separate video. As a result, we can now see all data in real-time in MQTT using MQTT Explorer on the left and real-time and historical data in Kafka using COAL on the right. As a next step, the data needs to be stored in databases. In the United Manufacturing Hub, relational and time series data coming from the message brokers are automatically stored in TimescaleDB using Kafka to Postgres. As a fourth and final step, we will visualize the data using Grafana and Factory Insight. With both tools, we can now easily create shop floor dashboards using drag and drop technologies. Here we add a new panel. For example, we select the OEE here. We change the visualization type to gauche. We add the title. We can use all Grafana functionalities here. Change the unit, and Factory Insight in the background will ensure that you get all the relevant data, for example, orders, shifts, or shop floor losses. At the beginning, I said that the United Manufacturing Hub is basically a Helm chart for Kubernetes combined with the CLI tool. Let me start by first explaining Helm chart for Kubernetes, and for this we need to understand some fundamentals. As you know, the United Manufacturing Hub consists out of multiple components from hardware to software. Traditionally, these software programs were huge and you could just double-click on them to install them. This is called the monolithic approach. Monolithic means that all various features of the software program are all in one code base, from the database to caching to authentication, user management, or a solution for backup. In contrast to that, there is the microservice approach. In the modern world, instead of one large programs, we use various smaller programs and call it microservices. The reasons why we do it like this would go beyond the scope of this video, so we just take this as given and reasonable. Each of these microservices is often packaged as a Docker container and then orchestrated either using Docker Compose for development setups or Kubernetes for large-scale rollouts. Kubernetes automates a lot of aspects for high availability, like automatic failovers or load balancing. Now, instead of configuring all of these components individual, all of these microservices, we created the United Manufacturing Hub, which is a Helm chart for Kubernetes. It takes a single configuration file and then automatically starts orchestrating all of these components, from the server to the edge devices. It automatically deploys data models, configuration, or any other templates. This is how it looks, for example, for the United Manufacturing Hub. We have various parameters that we can now use and change. For example, we can here enable barcode reader, we can disable it, we can change the barcode reader USB device name, we can configure Sensor Connect as already shown. And this is what is available right now on GitHub, entirely open source. The United Manufacturing Hub, the Helm chart for Kubernetes. As this is still quite technical and does not include the monitoring, the hardware, networking aspect, we have developed additionally the management console, but we will explain that in another video. This was it with a quick introduction into the United Manufacturing Hub. If you want to get more information, you can either take a look at the other videos on our channel or take a look on our website. You will find the link in the video description.